Welcome to the Rogue Sun podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about Rogue Sun with Ryan Parrott and Abel. But today we're here talking another awesome Ryan Parrott series. We just fresh off Infernals, but this one was announced a few months ago. I'm not exactly sure when, but we're here talking about Vicarious, which we're going to get into. Such a cool surprise for this year. So loved it. I'm today joined by my co-host, Mr. Firefly Ali. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back talking with you. Unfortunately, we couldn't have Matt and Bash on with us today, but we really wanted
Yeah.
to get talking about Vicarious #1. And we will. So to answer your question, yes, I've been doing good. I'm very excited. It's been a great year for comics, and it's ending just as it started on a very high note. So I'm excited to get into it. But first, how are you?
Yeah, doing really well. Actually, last night had a cool chance to go out and watch my favorite movie of all time, Interstellar, in IMAX for the
Ooh,
10th
nice.
year
I heard that got
anniversary.
re-released. Yeah.
So good, so good.
hmm
I'm glad I got out to see that. We got some Massive Verse game updates today, which is super cool. I don't know if you haven't got yours, right?
I have not. No, you're talking about the card, right? The card game?
Yeah, the card game. So they sent out an
hmm
email today basically just confirming your address and make sure everything's all good. So I know a lot of people in the US have got them, but they're starting to ship them out internationally. So super excited. I'm not sure if we'll get it before the end of the year, but nonetheless, they're kind of making some moves on it, and I cannot wait to get that. So yeah, today we're here talking about, like we said, Vicarious. Just a great surprise this year. Like you said, awesome year for comics so far.
Yes.
But yeah, first I'll just shout out the credits quick. So Vicarious, obviously created by Ryan Parrott and Eleonora Carlini. We got Mattia Ionco on the colors, and with assistance by Luca Mattioni, lettered by the Massiverse extraordinaire and letterist extraordinaire Becca Carey. Just killing it on everything. And a big surprise, which really just drove me into the series, caught my eye, is these covers by Dan Panosian. Just killing it. He's doing a lot of the covers on the Absolute. He did like the Absolute Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman connecting covers. He's done a lot of just amazing covers. So it's pretty cool to get him on here. Maybe a Radiant Black or a Rogue Sun cover one day would be a dream.
Hopefully, that would be amazing.
Yeah. We got variant covers by Rico Murakami, Rebecca Puebla, and the unlockable variant. I'm not sure if I've seen this unlockable variant by
I
Dan
think I have
Panosian
either.
as well. That's kind of cool. We got a logo designer, Fernando Rosales, Madison Gueves designer, or Guayet, sorry. Allison Gronowitz, the editor, and supervising editor, Bryce Carlson, and editor in chief, Matt Gagnon. So yeah, just an awesome, packed group here. I think this is the first story ever I've read with Eleonora Carlini on the art, which was a cool
Me
surprise for
too.
me.
Me
Yeah,
too. I'm glad she's
very,
doing interiors.
yeah,
Absolutely.
very cool surprise for me. Something I want to start with was, when was the first time you saw this, and kind of what did you think of the concept? First off.
So I'll tell you, that's. I'm glad you asked me that because my first impressions definitely did not match, or my expectations of this book didn't match what I read because you get the idea, or in the solicit they talk about what Vicarious is and living through someone or that kind of stuff. And to me, I thought like, okay, that's not necessarily the newest idea I've ever heard. We've definitely heard that before or seen it play out a few times. But we both love Ryan Parrott, and I knew that he would do some kind of twist or spin on it. And then I saw the cover, and I was like, okay, this cover is dope. Like, I just because it's Ryan Parrott and this cover is fire, I'm gonna check it out, and I definitely do not regret it. I am surprised it did not match my expectations. It did not go the way I thought it was gonna go. Um, and if there's one thing we know about Ryan Parrott is that he will kind of set you up to expect a certain outcome and then subvert those expectations immediately after.
Big time.
And I'm happy to say they've definitely delivered on that in the first issue.
Yeah, yeah, same here. They definitely have hooked me. I actually went into this super blind. I remember seeing the concept a while ago. I kind of saw the cover and glossed over it pretty quickly. But when the book came out, I dove into it completely blind, and definitely the first page, it really just sets the story, sets up the concept of what's going on with the proxies and the mind walkers and
Yeah.
all that, and the linkers. But yeah, such a cool world they're setting up right here. One question I have is how many issues this thing's gonna be. I don't think we've known if it's an ongoing or a limited
I
series or
don't
anything.
know.
I don't believe so. But it's kind of they might want to see how it's going at the start. But yeah, no, it's a just a really cool concept. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I'm sure who's ever is listening has read this, but yeah, if you're on the fence, definitely pick it up. Um, so yeah, I guess we can kind of dive into this
I want
craziness.
to just to go
What's
back
up?
to that real quick. It looks like they have 5 issues solicited already.
Okay, okay. So,
Yeah, so we got
but
at least 5.
okay, that's okay. It doesn't say of five though, right?
No, no, it doesn't say
Okay,
5 of
okay.
5 or whatever. It just said I'm just saying that's however many we have solicited
Okay, we're gonna
so
get
far.
minimum five. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that's good to hear. So yeah,
like they all
this
they all got covers and everything too. So
and one thing I did want to shout out is Bash. He really he compared this to like a Black Mirror episode, which really
yes,
nailed that. This
yes,
definitely felt like something that would come out of Black Mirror. I haven't seen all of Black Mirror. Maybe they have something like this, but no, it's a really cool concept. So yeah, getting into this right here, it's kind of starting with someone getting this implant on their chest, and they're talking about, oh, have you ever proxied? Have you ever mind walked? And this guy's getting this implant, like kind of right in his heart. And basically, the pitch is imagine getting to plug into the head of someone halfway across the world, all from the safety of your couch. And you're not just seeing what they're seeing, but you're smelling, tasting, and you're feeling everything. And then it repeats like I mean everything. So you know they're gonna be up to some crazy stuff here. It really actually did remind me, not to the extent, but of like how a lot of kids these days just like are watching these like streamers and stuff like
yeah,
all day and really like living the events of their lives, like kind of seeing all the crazy shit they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of an extreme version of streaming in a way, I
yeah.
found.
Yeah,
um
you're basically seeing life literally through someone else's eyes, but you're also feeling everything they are. And I like the
yes,
fact that they didn't give them control. Like I feel like
yes.
that's gonna be an aspect of the whole like
Hmm.
what do they call it? Plugging in?
Yeah, there's the proxies, and then the link.
Proxy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
proxies
proxy and mind walking.
are the people who get linked to, and you got these linkers who are linking all the way from around the world. It's also a thing. Ryan Parrott, in his original pitch, he said that they're probably more rich people, which makes sense because by the sounds of throughout this
Yeah,
book,
it's expensive.
it's not a cheap thing to link up to someone and do
No,
this whole
not at all.
thing.
Not at all.
So yeah,
I wanna give a quick warning because we will get into spoilers.
yes,
So before we do, just to kind of if you haven't read this book and you're kind of on the fence, you've been listening so far. The kind of idea of the book, kind of like Charlie said, is you got people that can log on to people's minds, experience everything they are experiencing from feelings, sensations, emotions, and they can see everything they're seeing too. The only catch is they have absolutely no control over what happens. So what kind of gets implied is that people do it to kind of do risky stuff, drugs, sex, what have you. um, so that's it for no spoilers. I'm assuming from this point
yes.
forward, there's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of spoilers.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And to start the spoilers, we should probably start with our protagonist, Mr.
Yes.
Justin Bright.
Hmm.
Kind of a funny character, a cool design. He's kind of got a star tattoo on his face, like on the cover. And it's just showing him right away, just going through life. He's trying to get a job. to pay rent, and it doesn't seem like it's going very well for him. He's kind of gotten this funny way. It really seems like he's never had a job before, or I'm not sure.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what you
Which
thought about
leads
that.
into this is kind of like very subtle foreshadowing to what happens at the end, because if you just read this first page with him in it, not the first page, but like the first time you see him doing these interviews, it sounds like he's just kind of like you said, someone who's never really had a job before, or like been in and out of jobs. He doesn't really have good relationships or references to help him get back on his feet. And even one of the interviewers asked him about a reference, and he's like, "Oh, I know it sucks that I don't have references, but what's better is that you can learn about it yourself by talking to me." Like reading that the first time, I was like, "Oh, it's just he's kind of down on his luck, but he's happy-go-lucky guy." But what you see at the end of the book, and you go back and read this again, you get a different feel or idea of
Yes.
why he's kind of sketchy or sus the way he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I'm really that really does show, and yeah, some crazy stuff later on, but yeah, that does kind of, I didn't really think of it in that way to begin with. He's kind of, you cut to him and he's doing chin ups,
Yeah.
kind of in his room, like he's getting into shape for something. But yeah, he's just kind of a different guy. He's not paying his rent at all. That's why he's looking for this job. So I'm super super curious. We didn't get any backstory of this character in
Mhm.
this, but like, yeah, what are this guy's origins? What has he been up to before all this is going on? But yeah, he's kind of a mysterious character. I should say, kind of
Definitely.
going into this.
Definitely. And then we see him go to a bar, and we see our first, I guess, encounter with a proxy. So it looks
Yeah.
like this person who's on their couch is proxying through this lady, talking to this old man as a first date, because that's how she goes on first date. She proxies the first date to kind of test out the guy she's supposed to see, and then if it goes well, she'll actually go on the second date. So that, again, that's another use for the proxies. And an interesting thing that we kind of see throughout the book too is that all these proxies have some kind of tattoos on them, whether on their face, on
Yes.
their chest, whatever. They That's kind of how you identify them in the book, visually at least.
Yeah, which is, and we also find out this is an illegal thing to do,
Oh
is
yes.
is being a proxy. So, yeah, definitely not the most subtle disguise is to have all these
Yeah,
tattoos everywhere.
yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's a thing that will go into the story. I'm curious if Justin Bright, he does have a tattoo on his face.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that leads into anywhere him being involved with this stuff beforehand, or he just wanted a star tattoo on his face. Yeah, I am curious about that. But yeah, this guy's kind of, he's just at the bar drinking, doing his thing. The bartender kind of comes by him and he says, you enjoy, like, you really enjoy watching life pass you by, kiddo,
Yeah.
which is cool. So it does seem like he's here quite a bit. Yeah, he's kind of just drinking alone, not really making any relationships. But one interesting thing about his character, which he meets someone later, and he really tells them, like, he wants people to be interested in him. He says, "I
Mhm.
wish there was like someone interested in me," which is kind of weird to see, like how he's going about it, and how a lot of people do go about life, like wanting these connections, but they don't want to put in the actual work to go out and socialize and gain these real relationships, and do this kind of stuff. So I found that pretty cool, and something else that adds to Justin's character.
I didn't think about it that way or from that angle, but not like you said before, how like or not all, but a lot of these kids these days live through or have these experiences that they see those streamers, or they watch them live their life on the stream or whatever. And now you say that I wish someone would be interested in me. It kind of connects to the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And he kind of just, so yeah, he's at the bar. He walks out back and he sees a proxy here, just getting the crap kicked out of him by
Yeah.
three gangsters. And
I wish
they're
they were
just,
gangsters, or they're frat boys.
yeah, I get, yeah, they're more just frat boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, they really are. But they're just beating the crap out of this guy, and they're really just on to him. It seems like there's a big split on the viewing of proxies. Like a lot of people just are disgusted by them and the idea
Mhm.
of them, which is like these guys. They're beating the crap out of him, just saying, "Oh, why are you selling your bodies for sins? All this, you must be pretty expensive." So yeah, they're trying to rob him. And another thing that goes into kind of Justin's past and makes me curious about what he's done is he just comes up and he absolutely beats the crap out of three guys. He comes up and
Yeah,
he yells,
yeah.
leave him alone." He says, "I don't look like a fighter, so why don't we just call it?" And he's very confident in himself. But they all start going out up to fight him, and yeah, he just goes off and beats the crap out of him. The action was super cool. Was super cool. I do like the very
I love how
cartooniness
it
nature.
starts. It starts with a crotch kick, like
Yes.
immediately, just a kick to the crotch. But he makes it he the way he what he says and the way he fights makes it seem like it's luck.
Yes.
Um, but now you got me thinking. I don't know. He might have like some weird past. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, he's dodging these guys. Like
Yeah,
he
dude.
is doing. Yeah, no, this one guy has a shank, like smashed a water ball, trying to stab him. He's just. It doesn't look like he's really breaking a sweat.
Mm-mm.
Which, yeah, so he ends up saving this guy, which kind of starts him down this whole interesting path for sure. So he beats them up. He saves this guy, and he's like, okay, let's go to the hospital. We need to go now. And that's where the proxy says, I can't go. I can only do private, like private hospitals and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I can't be enrolled into hospitals. So that's where you know right away this proxy has been through some
Sketchy
really
already, right? That's already
shady
sketchy. Yeah.
shady stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, I wonder if there's any good proxies. Like we haven't really seen that so far, but yeah, I guess it would lead you down this kind of path for sure, especially if they're paying this much.
Yeah, and that's
So
that's when we find that out, right? We he drives him to his house. He lives in a freaking mansion in San Francisco or San Diego? I think it's San Francisco.
yes,
Um, and you could see like the city skyline. Like this guy is loaded, and that's when we find out that he's like a super high end proxy. It costs like $10,000 a session
yeah,
with
which
him.
is insane. Yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
need
it's crazy.
rich people tapping into that. One question I did have for you, which is
Yeah,
not really explained, which is interesting, is what year do you think this is? Is this in the future, or is this just in a like dystopian kind of um, different time, or like a different reality?
I would say a little bit of both because it's giving a little bit of like cyberpunky.
Yep,
The
very
way
much.
the tattoos, the colors, the way people the hair. There's a lot of mohawks, a lot of colored hair. The way they're dressing, so it's giving a little bit like cyberpunky in the future.
Yeah, yeah. Even the
Oh, even
tires.
the
Yeah, it
cars.
look.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
just
looks like they
noticed.
got flying cars. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
they
really
do. They
notice
do.
that too.
It's definitely the future.
Yeah. So this, I believe this guy's name is Christian Gold. I'm not sure if that says in this issue or the next issue, but I did pick up his name is Christian Gold. You got Justin Bright, Christian Gold. We got a lot of cool names in this book. But right away you can see Justin sees this house, he sees this car, he sees what he's doing, and he's like, okay, why don't I do this? Like it really shows him the
He
very
wants in.
upscale side of this job, even though it could be kind of sketchy, and doing some bad things. Like he's getting rejected from all these jobs. He's not really doing the best in his personal life and stuff. Not being able to pay rent. So you can tell right away a light bulb switch on in his head, and he's like, yeah, he wants in for sure. But the guy does warn him. He says, yeah, this is not really for everyone. You do a lot of bad things. And yeah, 12,000 a pop minimum for kind of the
To
high
get the
end.
implants.
Yeah, that's 12,000. Yeah, just for a session. But yeah, I think it was like 10,000 for the implant.
Yeah, $10,000 for the implant, and
So
it looks like he's getting it like so, at a tattoo shop. which doesn't
Yeah,
really
which
seem like the
is
best
kind
place to
of
do a
which is
medical
kind of
procedure.
funny. Yeah, which is kind of funny. So yeah, this Christian Gold guy, he's kind of vibing with him. He likes him a little. I guess he's thankful he saved him
This is his
and
life,
all
yeah.
that. Yeah, he saved his life. So he said, "Okay, here, I'll give you this card. You can go to this place. I don't know if you've seen The Substance, but
No, I
the
have not, but I know what it is.
best horror movie this year by far.
Really?
If anyone's into horror, it's absolutely
Okay.
bonkers. This really gave me vibes of that too. Like it's yeah, they just give you a card and they say, okay, go to this location and get the substance and just trust me, and everything will be better. So
Okay.
yeah, he gets the implant and yeah, he goes to this tattoo shop. Like you said, it's not like a nice tattoo shop or anything. They're doing all these really expensive procedures at this yeah, at this kind of just normal tattoo shop. But yeah, I guess considering it's illegal, it's kind of
Ooh.
something it's kind of something that they want to be hiding, I guess, in a way. Another question I
I just
had,
found yeah,
what's
go
up?
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, no, what's up?
I just found this a little sus when he's getting not when he's getting the implant, but he's talking to the guy about getting the implant, and he says it's gonna hurt, and he says, yeah, this thing is needled directly to your nervous system. And then Justin says, so wait, these people can't read my mind, right? That again, now reading it again, knowing what I know, this is giving sus again. Like, what is he trying
Yes.
to hide so that he doesn't want? He's worried about people reading his mind.
Yes, yeah, very much so, very much so, and yeah, this guy Justin doesn't have the $10,000.
No.
So the tattoo guy says, "Give me 20% and give me everything you make until you make $15,000." So puts a little interest on it, but Justin really wants this, and yeah, the big question I had is, do you think linkers have to get this as well? Like the people linking to the proxies or just the proxies? Because you would think like they need to link up to someone to feel something in their
Right. I
nervous
would think they
system.
do too, because if they feel, yeah, exactly. If they feel the sensations too, they would, I would assume they have something connected to their nervous
Okay.
system as well.
I was kind of thinking around the same lines, which is
Yeah.
definitely another expensive procedure. So you're paying ten
Yes.
thousand to just get the implant, and then you're paying another freaking 12,000 per session. Yeah, these
Right.
guys
Right.
must be absolutely loaded.
Right.
But yeah, you can tell right away his he gets this implant. You flip the page after he gets the implant, and his whole mood,
Tatted
his
up.
whole everything just changes. He's got his hair over his head. He's just feeling nice and confident. But yeah, it says right here outside the implant, I'll be adding some biometric tattoos. Think of it as an artist's signature. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Everyone's got tattoos. So yeah, if you're a cop, it's probably not going to be too hard to round up
Yeah.
these proxies, which is kind of funny. But yeah, he tries right away, and it shows it's really not as easy as he thought to be a proxy as this Christian Gold guy was letting on when he first starts.
Yeah, it looks like so he goes on the internet, he tries linking up with linkers, I suppose,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work out. He gets the first one, he hangs up right away, especially when he finds out he's a new proxy. Uh
Sorry to cut you off. This
yeah,
really reminded me. I don't know if you've ever like streamed as like like when you were younger or anything, but like I would try to stream some video games, and that's exactly what it was. You just want one or two viewers. They come
yeah.
on, they say something in the chat, you try to keep them in, and then they're like, oh yeah, fuck this guy. We're
Peace
going
out.
on to we're going to the bigger streamers kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really kind of reminded me of that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's really having a hard
No,
time.
it's rough, man. It's rough. He's not having a good time at all. At all. Until he finally gets on the phone or talking to somebody. And he almost loses him until he says, sorry, it's been a long day. And the guy says, I want to see the city. And then he just doesn't even give him a chance to think or say anything. He just runs, starts running out of his apartment, uh, starts jumping goes on the roof. And the guy is freaking out, right? The guy's like, oh, this isn't what I had planned. I didn't want to see the city like this.
Yeah,
Um,
basically jumps off a building. Like
pretty much.
he's
Pretty
desperate. He's
much.
desperate for these people to stay, which is
Now,
crazy.
so if you look, I don't know if you have the book open, but
Yeah,
there's a page when he's talking to the guy initially where he's on the couch and the tattoos are still green. But as soon as he opens the door and starts running, the entire tattoo starts to like shine, and it's pink. Now the only
Yeah.
other, I don't know if that happens with everybody, but the only other person we saw, the only other proxy we saw was at the club. And it was that girl. Her tattoos were also
Yep.
glowing. So I think if the
Yeah.
tattoo is glowing, it means that the person is
Someone is
fully
linked.
connected, right?
Someone's
Yeah.
linked. Yeah, that's a good shout. I did not even catch that the first time.
Okay.
Um, yeah, there was a lot going on with the colors, so I didn't really catch that. But
Well,
that's
the
a good
colors are
shout.
gorgeous, man. Especially when he's
Yeah.
jumping on the buildings and
Oh
stuff.
man,
Amazing.
yeah, the art, the colors, yeah, this combo kills it. Yeah, he jumps up, reaches, grabs himself off this building, and he's basically like he's grabbing by one hand, and you can easily tell like by himself, like he would have never done this, but it kind of leads us to believe that two, if he wasn't connected or anything, he might have just let go. Like just with everything he's been through, all the hard stuff he's been through, it's really hard. But you hear the guy on the other line. He's like, don't fall. You can do it. Pull yourself up." And he kind of motivates Justin to really just save himself, to show him this view, which
But
is
see, I wonder
absolutely gorgeous.
again. This is making me think. Did the linker help Justin? Um, like emotionally, like did he give him a reason to live, or did he help him physically? Because later on, he says like, the link gives him like some kind of superpower, but I think he's joking. Um,
I thought so too, but I wasn't 100% sure. Like, but he
yeah,
did jump quite a ways. It looked like he jumped quite a ways on this building. But yeah,
yeah.
I definitely think he's joking too. I don't think it does anything like that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. So it looks like they do
Yeah.
get friendly. They start kind of, liking each other's company. He, like you said, he does tell him, I don't think I was gonna fall, but your encouragement may have saved my life." So he thanks him for that. And there goes Justin's first day as a proxy.
Yeah. Yeah, there it does go. He gets back, and this
Oh,
right here, this scene was one of the biggest questions I did have. I don't know if we want to skip till the end. Your theory at the end might explain what's going on here, but basically
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
yeah, he
ahead, go
get
ahead.
he gets back, and he sees the landlord here, and he's yelling at him again. But this time he doesn't sit. It is Justin. He walks in, and this time the landlord goes up to Justin and says, "Where's Justin? Don't play stupid with me. You've been staying with Justin for weeks, and I don't usually give a shit as long as the rent gets paid, but where's Justin this time?" And Justin, he's kind of confused. He's like, "I'm Justin, but okay, I'll play along with this." And then he says, "Oh, I left. His mom got sick.
Or he
He had to
left.
go
You're saying
home."
Justin left.
Yeah, yeah, he had to go home because his mom got sick, but he asked me to kind of stay here and take care of things. So right away, it's kind of a weird thing where you assume Justin is in the same body, he is the same person, but do you have an explanation why the landlord does not recognize him at all?
So then this is just my theory. We flip to the next page, and then you get the same monologue that we saw at the beginning of the book, which is basically his spiel, his speech, his elevator pitch, to get clientele, right? So he says, imagine getting to plug into the head of someone halfway across the world from the safety of your couch. You're seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling everything. And for the right price, you could do anything you've ever wanted to do, and you could see a foot coming out of the shower, and you flip the page and you see him say into the mirror, be anyone you ever wanted to be. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. And then you see somebody in the shower with blood everywhere. So this gets me thinking, Justin, as we know him, killed the real Justin that actually lives in this apartment and is trying to take over his identity.
Yeah, and
That's what I'm thinking about right now.
that makes sense. I'm just curious, like, where this new Justin came from. Like, did this implant completely change him, or do we just see the illustration as Justin here because it is the original Justin? This did confuse me a little, but at the same time it really intrigued me. Like, where did this second body come from that looked like Justin?
Because this implies that from the moment that we saw him doing pull-ups in the beginning of the book, when the landlord was knocking on the door, that the real Justin was dead already since then.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and this guy is literally just like killed the
Okay.
guy,
Yeah.
pretended he lives there, and took over his name. But that's again, if you're pretending to be him,
Hey,
why would
I
you
like
use
that.
his name to try to get a job? You know what I mean? If you're gonna take over this guy's apartment, why would you use his name to get like that part doesn't make sense to me still. There's a lot to
That
explore.
is true. Maybe
Like
because he had his home, he had his own address. Like he needs to put in his address and everything. But at
oh,
the
that's
same time,
true.
he didn't want to use any references. He didn't want to use any references for anyone to talk
Hmm.
about him per se. But yeah, in the shower, you do see he does have. They don't show a lot. They cover his face obviously on purpose, but he does have very similar hair. Um,
Yes.
at first, I was thinking, oh, did he kill like the Christian Gold guy? He wants to take over his empire,
Oh.
like
Oh,
as a
but he
top
doesn't have
proxy.
any
But
tattoos.
yeah, he doesn't have the scorpion tattoo. He doesn't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
anything like that. So I definitely like your theory on this one. That's kind of the thing that makes most sense, and we're gonna see this happen before. Another theory I had was, did he get kind of a proxy contract off page that we didn't know about that wanted to pay him a lot of money as like a hitman to take someone out for him?
Maybe.
But I think your theory has definitely made the most sense to me. So I'm gonna stick with that until we learn further. But yeah, but yeah. So I don't know if he looks exactly like Justin, but in that case, the landlord should still know who Justin is. Man, there's a
Yeah,
lot
that's why.
there's a
That's
lot of
why he
questions.
said. That's why he didn't call him Justin. He was talking. It's so confusing to talk
Oh, he
about.
said you've been
It's hard
here.
to.
Okay, so you've been here for a few weeks. So you're taking it as basically this whole story has taken place in the first few weeks. I think the way I was reading it first
Uh-huh.
was once he joined the proxy, like he's kind of been doing his proxy thing for a couple weeks, but now reading
No,
it
no, no. I read it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
reading
I
it
read it
again,
as
he's only done this for one day.
yes, yes. This is literally him coming back from walking the rooftops with the guy, and then the landlord is looking for the dead Justin, the actual real Justin, not the one who's pretending to be Justin. And he's talking to this
Yes.
guy because he sees him coming in and out of the apartment. He just hasn't seen Justin, so he's asking where the
I
hell
love
is
it.
Justin? I
Okay.
need my money. So there's definitely a lot of layers to this. And like I said at the beginning of the pod, Ryan Parrott will subvert your expectations. He's gonna try
Big
to
time.
trick you, and it's gonna lead to a great story. And so far, I've been hooked. The art by Carlini has been fantastic in this book. The colors are amazing. It definitely gives you that like I don't know what to call it, like that like LSD feeling when you see all those colors.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, very much
it
so.
has
Yeah,
that
cuz
like vibe to it. So and it works with the the very dangerous, very high end, risky stuff that these proxies are supposed to be doing. It's definitely an interesting world they've introduced to us in this first issue. Like I said, I haven't read the second issue yet. I will be reading it as soon as we get off of this.
cool.
So looking forward to it. What about you, Charlie? What do you think?
Yeah, I like we said earlier, like I just love what they're setting up here. Love the world they're setting up. I did just a few days ago actually read issue 2, and
Mhm.
obviously I'm not going to spoil it, but I do just want to say the way they expand the world even farther, it goes crazy, and they really do expand it in a way that got me even more hooked than I am in this first issue. But yeah, this cliffhanger had me thinking for days and days. I had no idea, but Ali kind of I don't know, he
This makes me think.
settled my
So
mind down a little.
are you saying they don't fully explain this in issue two, the cliffhanger?
Okay, yeah, I guess yeah, skip 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. It's not a huge spoiler at all. But no, they don't really talk about this at all.
Oh shit. Okay.
The only teaser I have is you see him burying this body. He's going to
Okay.
bury this
Okay.
body. That's the only thing you see about this. So this is a big part of big part of the mystery, which I absolutely love, which I think will make the reveal of your theory even better. I really do. But yeah, this ended off super good. I think issue 3 is coming out. It should
18th,
be just
December 18th,
18th. Yeah,
next week.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, next week.
Yeah.
Man, this
Is
year is
it? I'm
flying by.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know,
It
right?
is. Yeah.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
Wednesday, December 18th. So yeah,
Uh,
if you haven't checked this book out yet, please give it a shot. It is a really cool, something different I haven't really seen in a long time. It definitely, like Bash said, it does feel very much like a Black Mirror episode. And it's no secret we're all big fans of Ryan Parrott here.
yes. Man, Infernals with Rogue Sun. I know he just got announced to do the Justice League Unlimited spinoff, kind of the
Yes.
Atom Project.
Yes.
And they've kind of said a little bit what that's going to be doing. I guess going a little bit into the heroes. The Atoms are looking into ways to give the heroes back their powers that were stealing in absolute power, and kind of going into that. So I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that on this show. Going
Yeah,
to a little
maybe.
bit of DC. I would love that. I would love that.
Maybe you're gonna change the name to the Ryan Parrott podcast soon.
Yes, I would love that. It's all just such good stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
Excited to read issue 3 and get into issue 2. I believe we're gonna do that early next week. We're gonna try to do
Yes.
that early next week. So it'll probably be dropped later next week. For people listening. And yeah, that's pretty. You have anything else, Ellie?
No, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for joining us and listening today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did not read Vicarious yet, that you give it a shot. I don't think you will
Yes.
regret it. But otherwise, we'll see you next time, and stay roasty.